Yo, 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 tune in, don't miss Shaggy TV, hit him with the twist. Gang on deck, let's pick up the pace. Remote in hand, it's a cartoon race. Where are you, Shaggy TV? Catch the vibes, come roll with me. Jinkies, yeah, it's action-packed. Scooby snacks and a mystery crack. Flip the channel, hit the screen. Velma's got the clues, keep it clean. Fred in the whip, Daphne looking mean. Shaggy on the snacks, munching every scene. Zoinks, got ghosts in the room. Monsters lurk, smell the cartoon fumes. Fog thicker than my uncle's perfume. Solve it quick, then straight to the tune. Where are you, Shaggy TV? Catch the vibes, come roll with me. Jinkies, yeah, it's action-packed. Scooby snacks and a mystery crack. Spooky vibes with the laugh on top. Masked villains, every case non-stop. Trapdoor falls, but the plan don't flop. Cue the laugh track, tick-tock, tick-tock.
We are live for a little Wild Wednesday here with the Senex Short Track Championship Series. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV, and we're ready to bring you not one, but two races here this evening as, excuse me there, we've got Monday night's race on that's what I was trying to hold back, and then you heard one come out a hiccup. Dang, I thought I held it in long enough. But there you go. Hopefully we don't have any hiccups here in the broadcast tonight. You know, we don't want that to be a little foreshadowing here. Or for the drivers either. Hopefully they can keep this thing clean and green. See if we can't find somebody to take down Keith Kincaid. See those times, 10th and a half quicker than the rest of the field here. Boy's gonna have to get hard to work. They want to run down Keith Kincaid. The man P2 on the board is out here trying to do some work. It's the farmer in the 54. Chris didn't have such a good race there at Martinsville, if memory recalls, but that's one of those tracks can definitely get the better of you in a hurry. And you got to think probably what happened. You know, the farmer normally hanging around 4th, 3rd. I mean, he'll pop up 2nd. Maybe going to steal a win here this season, but definitely out of sorts there last week. But you see Tim Chapman and Joe Canella's here running around the racetrack. Tim P10 pulling off the track. Joe Canella is currently P6 in the 1K. It's Keith Kincaid pulling out on the racetrack. The Flamin' Hot Cheeto back out there. Well, now he's going to pull off. Getting a little camera shy. GJ Boydell in the 014 machine. This guy, I was singing high praises of Greg today to my dad. Told him I freaking took you out there, and then you were still nice enough to come in and help me a little bit with my Daytona 24 situation. Big shout out to Greg, man. He just randomly started watching my session and came in and started giving me tips. It was a big help, man, to say the least. So I have these cameras named a little different. I loaded up my dirt ones. You can see that. I don't like the field of view camera. I have to have it set like this. Sorry, I can always tell when it's not zooming. I want my far away camera. But I want it to, you know, it's got to have a little bit of movement. You don't need to see everywhere on the racetrack. You don't need to resave that. As I say, it's for dirt. But running out of time there. As you see, only a little over 50 seconds here before we're going to go out there and qualify. I mean, you look at P14 all the way up to P2, 1800ths of a second separate those guys. I mean, that's unbelievable. That's a close field. Keith, on the other hand, you know, he may have to sandbag a little bit. Maybe we'll have to see if somebody can go out there, put sugar in the tank here for qualifying, make him go through the field. Papano out there still? No, he's not. He's pulling off. He said, nope, 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 nope. The boss man, Rob Cassidy, still out here, though, as you see the clock. Strike 0. Checkered flag waves. And warm-ups here for your asphalt pro late models come to a close. And you see he's going to go out here and get quick time tonight, and then you guys should know the drill by now. It's been this way. We're up to season 3 now. 100 laps tonight. Nothing's changed. All about being able to, you know, I mean, we'll get a race or two where, I mean, these things go green flag a while, and then, man, you really see what you got for tire management. It's Dave Stinson, Mr. Hot Wheels. Rolling off of turn 4. What camera is this with TV2? Is that real life? So the dirt cameras are different. Okay. Gotta do something really quick here. Shame on me, because we can't have that happen. I luckily saved some before. Take advantage of that here. Stinson rolling around is P1 with a 21.84. Greg Parmalee about to come across the line. Where's Parmalee gonna be? The 04 P1 with a 21.83, almost an identical lap there. Now we got some more horses going through or coming out of the stables. Frank Barbary, top of the charts here in the 26 machine. 21.67. Keith Kincaid bests him by a tenth. Ed Papano reels himself a little closer, but that was his last lap. Barbary comes across the line. Final time, not going to improve. Keith Kincaid a little slower through sector 1. Does he improve off of 4? Final time. Keith Kincaid crosses the line, does go quicker. Doesn't improve the lap time. 21.63 as opposed to the 21.57. Keith Kincaid still going to be pretty happy with that. So right now, Kincaid, Papano, Barbary, Parmalee, and Tice, your top 5. Chris Farmer on his second and final lap here in the 54 machine. Crosses the line, doesn't improve, stays P8 as GJ Boydell comes across the line, final time. He jumps up to P9, 21.79. You see 8, 9, and 10. I mean, they're separated by the thousandth of a second that we don't get. I mean, what a close finish there. Man, that's another thing that's going to bug me here. Well, we'll get over it. I want to have my still straightaway camera here for the scenic shots. But hey, you know, we're not going to complain. We get to see shots here at the USA International Speedway. We'll see how much time they have left. 2 minutes, so I'm going to mute up here. Like I say, enjoy the views here, and we'll be ready to go here. A little over 2 minutes. Stick around here on Shaggy TV. You know, talk about a dummy move. I was going to play this in the background. We don't do heat races here in the asphalt side. What was I thinking? We're going to get ready to go 100 laps. I had a brain fart there for a second. I even told you guys. Coming up next, 100 laps, and I don't know what came over me there. So let's go ahead. Let's get up what we want to have here, and about 30 seconds we'll get ready to take a look at tonight's starting lineup. Drivers registered for tonight's race. 14 put in a qualifying time. Let's get ready to take a look at tonight's 100 lap feature starting lineup. Rounding out the field, the 57 of Robert Keller. Row 7 to the outside, the 87 of the General. Andy Patton to the inside, the 68 of Rob Cassidy. Row 6 to the top shelf, the 88 of Dave Brill to the inside, the 1K of Joe Canelli. Row 5 to the outside, the 014 of the Iron Man, GJ Boydell to the inside, the 9, Mr. Hot Wheels, Dave Stinson. Row 4 to the top shelf, the 54 of Chris Farmer to the inside, the 31 of Derek Clounch. Row 3 to the high side, the 37 of Tim Chapman to the inside, the 24 of Scott Tice. Almost set the 5, starting P5. Row 2 to the top shelf, the 04 of Greg Parmalee to the inside, the 26 of Frank Barber. In row 1, for tonight's 100 lap main event here at the USA International Speedway, to the outside, the 01 of Ed Papineau, and starting on the pole, the 17 of the Flamin' Hot Cheeto, Keith Kincaid. Drivers roll down the backstretch for the final time. They're going to watch that pace car pull off out of 4. The drivers got a long way to go between now and the checkered flag. Let's see if patience are tested. Have they even heard the word patience? You look to the sky, the green flag's high. We're going to make the rubber fly. 100 laps to play at the USA International Speedway. Oh, the 37 goes around right away. Naughtiness here out of someone. Caution flag going to wave almost as soon as this thing rolls off. Let's see what happened here. See if the 37, he tries to clear himself, not clear. The 31 of Clounch is there. And I mean, that's such a quick move. You know, he's not going to be able to react to that super quick here. Tim, is he able to keep it down out of the way here? He is, but still, somehow, Robert Keller, how is he involved in this? So it was 2 separate car spins. I think he just locks it down. He thought this was going to be much more worse than it was. Locked it down and luckily kept it out of the wall here. I think both drivers did for the most part. But either way, early laundry on the racetrack. And man, oh man, hopefully this isn't a forecast of what is to come. But I can tell you what it is a forecast of. You guys know. saw me moving some cameras around earlier. We may take advantage of this here under the short caution flag because I don't like how zoomed the asphalt cameras are. While they're going slow, see, I can do things like this. And I can go, no, why are you so low? We're going to raise you up. And then you guys, I'll use this. I'm going to pretend that, you guys can use this as a learner. Most people may charge for this. Do a video like this, show people how to edit cameras, not me. I'm willing to do it live on the broadcast, show all my secrets. And the lights are still on. TV3 was just fine. What did we think? I think we edited TV1. Now we are going to save. Now we're going to make you go away. All this goes away. And we should be coming back to 1 to green this time by. Tim Chapman in the infield. So that tells me he did have damage. Didn't want to use the quick repair. Is just kind of using all the time he can and going out before he goes a lap down, which hit the nail on the head. We double up here. Did I move this camera out? Yeah, I did. Keith Kincaid got a really, really good restart to start this, or I mean, I should say not a restart. That was the start of the race. Let's see if he can nail the restart here. Is the green flag's high? We're going to let the rubber fly. We're back underway at the USA Speedway. Oh, patience, patience, patience. The silver bullet gets a little loose there in the 31 machine. Clouch able to wrestle it down. The 54 looks to the outside. May have brushed the wall here. Chris Farmer trying to take a peek. Can he make it work here? This is an early test. Fresh tires, where do you want to be? All aboard the train on the inside. GJ Boydell sends it in the 014 machine. The Iron Man picks up one. He's got Dave Brill right behind. Farmer clips the wall one more time. Up front, single file, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, as far as the eye can see. All the way back to 15th. First move, here's the battle for 13th. Andy Patton gets high up out of the way. Robert Killer trying to bring the Hurricane down here to Florida. He takes a peek on the inside. I should say the Hurricanes are already in Florida. Trying to bring it over to Lakeland, Florida. Back down underneath. Continues the swoop. He gets him at the line. Andy Patton going to draw down low. Fall in line. And why not there for Tim Chapman? No rush. You don't need to try to dive that long way to go. Dave Brill, is he trying to set up the 014 here? Let's see what kind of move he can do. He's taking a peek here. Dips to the left side, tires right down there on the yellow. That's what you got to do. Got to use that little bit down there to help you rotate the car. But if you go too low, well, you're going to get 2 tires down there on the actual flat part of the racetrack. And then all that grip you thought you had is going to go away in a real quick hurry. Here comes Dave Brill one more time. The 88 looking low, not able to get the bumper to the 014 yet, but I'm telling you, Greg Boydell, he better get up and out of the way, or he better go a little quicker, because the 88 ain't come here to play. It's a little loose there when he tried to punch it. You see Dave loses a little bit of time. Greg Boydell opens back up the gap, but Dave sends it back in deep, and that's going to work now. But if we stay green, that is not going to work for a long time, making up that much time on corner entry. For now, Dave Brill continues to make it work. Keith Kincaid out front by almost a second over Ed Papineau. Frank Barbary holding on to the final podium spot. But for how long? Scott Tice is right there, man. He has been itching to make the move. Just not going to do it yet. He is one of those guys, man. I don't know how he does it. I mean, Keith really is too, to be honest with you. Does a lot of dirt stuff. And, I mean, Scott definitely a dirt guy as well. And normally in dirt, you know, it's go, 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 go. You got to go now. You only got 30 laps to get it done. And, I mean, to come here and flip the mindset and to just... It's tough. It really is hard to turn off that go, go, go and save your stuff so you can go, 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 you know, the final 50 laps while everybody else is on the slip and slide or falling to the back. I mean, we may even see some guys tonight be forced to make a green flag pit stop if they're wearing the tires too bad. And I hate to say I told you so, but I think we saw this coming. GJ Boydell, he gets sent down pit road. We stay green. We stay green here as GJ Boydell gets a little bit of contact. We're going to go look at this as quick as we can. You guys are looking at it. I am not. I'm trying to flip my screen here. Now I get it to the blimp. And we saw it coming. I had been watching that bumper cam for a reason here, and I click off for 2 laps. It finally goes. You had to know it was coming, and you know, you don't really want to get that guy in the bumper on corner entry, or you're going to do just that, kind of turn him around. The only way you want to push, you know, do it on corner entries if you're already there. You're kind of pushing him in deep. If not, you kind of want to unsettle him in the center of the corner. You see Brill, he gets straightened out there by the 54. And they continue, and then... Let's see, we did end up getting a yellow flag. Was this for... All right, so we're going to freeze this here. We're going to click around and see if we can figure out what brought out the caution. Was it Greg stopping there? No. Huh. That one's a head scratcher. They might have thrown a oh, there we go. See? I was going to cheat. I was going to say they might have thrown one because realistically... And I think they'll agree when they go back and look at this. I don't think there will be any hard or ill feelings there towards Greg. Because, I mean, what was he supposed to do there? He gets shoved in the back. And, you know, I mean, a caution flag in real life. There's going to be a caution flag there in real life 100 times out of 100. So it stinks that it took that long that, you know, Greg went a lap down. But hopefully he gets the wave around. Not too sure how that'll go here, though, for Boydell. Keith Kincaid, though, going to stay out. Rob Cassidy, Robert Keller, and Tim Chapman, the only drivers to come down pit road. Now Andy Patton coming down. You guys are bored this Saturday, though, like I say, there's gonna be a lot going on, so there is a super chance. I don't even have my freaking flyer made. I'm such a busy broadcaster these next 2-3 weeks. What a time for me to start that Saturday thing. There's a chance that doesn't go right off at 12, depending on if I'm in the race car or what's going on with my 24-hour team. That's got precedence, and I'll make a post about that. But it would be neat if some of you guys come out and play in the dirt a little bit Saturday. Going to run those from 12 to 3 Eastern. So the lights are off. Drivers are doubled up here. Entering turn 3. Will drop the hammer and go back this time by It's Keith Kincaid, yeah, not waiting for that restart line. He goes early. We are back underway. Plenty of laps to get out here and go play. Everybody behaving here through 1 and 2 so far. Let's see what happens through 3 and 4. There is a battle for third. Ed Papano, and actually, is that? Yeah, that's the 26. Oh, Frank Barbary went black and, oh, what confused me is Greg Boydell up in front of the leaders. Not too sure what happened to the 014. He is not your leader. That's Keith Kincaid, clearly. But, yeah, GJ Boydell, he's running a lap down right now, possibly going to go 2. If not for a caution flag, I think the 37 maybe gets a piece of that. Couldn't tell. But Stinson here, he's definitely going to get a big piece. Oh, as you see, Clounch, he gets moved around by Farmer. And then there's a stack up, which the 37 gets a big piece of Stinson when he comes down the racetrack. Silver Bullet up there buried against the wall. And that's a good time there for the 014. The Iron Man should indeed get that wave around now, I would think. And quarter of the way through this thing, Keith Kincaid has led every lap. Only, do a little bit of math here. But this is the third caution, but we've only done 1 lap. Under caution. We've probably got somewhere between 19 to 21 laps of green flag on the tires. Not killer yet, but let's say if fresh tire Keith could run behind tire he has now, Keith, the fresh tire Keith is going to give 19, 20 lap old tire Keith some trouble. But there's a lot of cars in between Keith and the first guy that's come down pit road. First car to a pit is Robert Keller, P9. That'll be inside of row 5. It's a pretty big gap, to try to use that tire advantage. And if you do use the tire advantage, let's say this thing stays green, which we're 1,000% open. Picking your way through 6 guys trying to get to that 7th guy, which is your leader, you probably used a lot of the good on those sneakers. And, you're going to wish you had another pair probably by the time you drive your way through. Unless you play smart. You just kind of lay in the weeds. You keep those guys in front of you and you wait till the tires, really start to fall off. And that's when you sink your teeth in. You beat guys off corner entry. Use the throttle a little more than you had been. Exiting the corner, the whole run. Keep that good left for the end. And obviously, always easier said than done. I am the perfect example of talking out both sides of your mouth. I can say, do one thing, and I will 1,000% go out there and do the other. The perfect example is my GT3 teammates here. We've been practicing for Daytona. Most of them get 30 to 31 laps per stint. I get 29 because I am so heavy on that right foot. I can't get that full 30th lap. So, I can preach it, but it's hard to follow it as the green flag waves. We're back underway. Two by two. Finally start to get a little bit of single file there towards the front. Other than the battle for second, that's Frank Barbary on the outside, Ed Papano on the inside. Barbary gave up the fight once on the inside. Back to the pack. Farmer on the outside. The Hurricane on the bottom. Robert Keller gets a little loose. Does he drive it in deep? Can't get underneath the 88. Trying to hold off the 54. He can slide up this time if he chooses to. Leaves the slot open. Robert Keller being Mr. Nice Guy there, because when you run that low and really yank the wheel like you have to when you're that low to, corner the race car, that's where you do that stuff to the tires. That's where you get on the naughty list there with the Goodyears, and don't want to have any tire trouble here late into the run. Is Robert Keller will continue to monitor that situation. Remember, he's the new tire man. Keith Kincaid flaming the field here. Already up to a 7/10 of a second lead. Only about 5 to 6 laps here after a restart. Greg Parmalee looking up in that mirror. He sees the 1K absolutely barking. Joe Canellis reeling him in. And it may be out of necessity here by Joe Canellis, because take a peek right behind that 1K. There's that 24 I was talking about. Greg Boydell taking a peek under Robert Keller, I believe, but Boydell yet to get that wave around for some reason. Not sure why. If he just hasn't asked for it, if he maybe doesn't know it's a thing, I'm not too sure. But Boydell continues to be a lap down here. Brill on the inside, Canella's behind. Oh, couldn't tell here. Did we have we do have a car sideways. It's Greg Boydell. Not getting the caution flag. He's sitting on the inside of the racetrack here. Still not getting one. Turns it around, and now we get a caution. Can figure out what happened here. Yeah, you can't blame the 31 for this here. Greg gets loose on the apron, and then he wants to defend the spot. But the 31, I mean, look at that. He's got to run, and he goes to the inside here. And Greg thinking about going down the block there, and comes down across the nose of the 31 machine. And Derek Clounch, that right front has seen a lot of action in that 31. And by all accounts, none of his doing. Nothing has been his fault here. Oh, Keith bluffed. Ed Papineau going to come in. I think that's the move. Now, the rest of the field, they didn't agree with Ed. And I'll tell you what, I think Ed made the right call. I really do. It's everybody else now making it look like it will be the wrong call, and indeed probably is, because so many cars stayed out. But I liked what he did. He was going to stay out, then the leader stays out. Do the opposite. And the reason I say I like it is, you know, Ed clearly the second fastest car right now, second, third fastest. Him and Barbary kind of battling back and forth, but I mean, we saw it in the warm-up times. That doesn't really... You can't go by warm-up times like when we go to the replay, you know, in the dirt later. Because the track changes so much. But now, if anything, you know, track will rubber up a little bit here, and the temperatures will go down. Racetrack will get a little grippier as it goes. So, if anything, times normally get a little quicker. You know, especially as guys start to push it, they can see how other guys were gaining. Now, that's not going to be quicker throughout the whole race. You got to have the race pace, got to make the tires last. But, you know, when, back to the point, I droned on so long. It's normally relevant. You know, if you're about a quick tenth or a tenth quicker than a guy, you're probably still going to be quicker here, even when the track cools down for everybody, because you're naturally going to get a little faster as well. It's not just going to, you know, magically pick that guy up behind you and lift him to your level. So Keith just trying to go out here, keep clicking laps off as we approach closer to the halfway point. We'll have 60 laps to go here when we get the green flag. Keith goes much later this time. As I'm choking on my own saliva, almost dying here for this race restart. Contact between the front row. And just like that, Keith Kincaid to the back of the field here. I couldn't tell if he came up or the 26 comes down, but Barbary gets a great start. You can see he's even to Keith. And man, I think, oh boy, this one's tough. That one's tough because you can see the 26 coming down, but I also think you can see the 17. Yeah, they're both. I mean, let's cheat here. Let's do the frame by frame. And we'll go to kind of the chase camera. No, we want rear chase. So you can kind of see, pay attention to this line right here. You can see Keith's car coming up. It's not much, and you can see the 26. He's coming down much more than Keith is coming up, but they meet in the middle. I mean, he wants to force him down for a low entry. They meet in the middle. And from there, just a big wreck. And that's a tough break there for both of them. Now, Keith Kincaid there, you see him lined up behind the pace car. He is not your leader. You will get the wave around when we get the 1 to green. It's just because it took him a while probably to turn around here. But man, oh man. That really shook things up. And now all of a sudden, Ed Papineau, Robert Keller not looking so bad, but really the best car right now, I would say. In position, Clown, she came down lap 25, actually. So the caution after Robert Keller did, and he's ahead of him. Robert Keller, furthest guy up on the fresh set of new tires. We had Ed Papineau coming in lap 37. He's P8. And then the next guys to come in, obviously Keith Kincaid and everybody behind. That is not the camera we want. This is the camera we want. Drivers roll out of 2. What's up, Brandon? What's going on, man? This is a 50 and older league that runs asphalt here, and then I do their race replay from Monday night after. So my dad's in here. He's the 37. I love these guys, but definitely Dad, a big part of why I want to do it. As the green flag waves, we are back underway. 55 laps left to play. Ooh, the general there, he got a little loose. You can see the 9 did a good job of checking up Mr. Hot Wheels there, Dave Stinton. And look at Derek Clouch up and over on the lid, the 31. I think he just cracked the wall one more time. And oh man, Ed Papineau thought he was in the driver's seat there with those new tires. He's involved. And these guys, I know they want to come down here early. But if they don't do this quick, when leaders come around, they're going to go a lap down. Let's see here if we can figure out what happened. Oh, wow, he just got hooked. I am not too sure why, if something happened there with the 01. Because let's go up top. Doesn't look like Ed got loose. He just wants to follow the 57 down and the 31 home. And man, that is a wild ride there. It does. What are we calling that move in skateboarding? I can't even remember. Kick the board on the side, do that little grind. I was always too fat to be good at skateboarding, you know. That's why my dad too. He was pretty good in go-karts. I can remember from when I was a little kid, and I always wanted to race go-karts too. Always wanted to race go-karts, but dude, I was too fat. I would have had to race with adults. when I was like 7 or 8 years old. And I mean, I guess the last thing, and it makes sense, you know, my dad wants me to do is go out there and get run over by a bunch of adults. And so I had to wait till I was 12, get in a front wheel drive car, and did my racing at the Trailway Speedway. First car was a Chevy Cavalier. And somebody liked me there. A guy who owned a bunch of Dodge Neons offered to let me drive one of those. So I got to race 2 cars on the same night. That was always a lot of fun. I like getting in and out of the car and going to the other one. But if I'm being honest with you, the Neons suck. My car was fast. That's another rule from my dad, which I'll always respect. Like, don't get me wrong, man. I want to, you know, have fun, okay? But I'm not showing up to a gunfight with a knife. You know, if you're going to race, like, let's go to win, you know? You don't want to show up in junk. You don't expect, yeah, exactly. We definitely are not rich by any means, very far from it. But, you know, do the best with what you got. I mean, just try to be semi-competitive. So then I moved to a 6-cylinder oval class. I raced a Ford SHO, 1993. That had a 24-valve dual overhead cam, basically a boat motor in that thing. And man, I had so much fun in that. As the green flag waves, we are back underway. 50 laps to play, and we're already 3 wide. It looked like they're coming towards the line. The 88 nudges up the 04. Parmalee off the tracks towards the back here. The Hurricane takes a peek underneath, and he's got Hot Wheels right behind him. Dave Stinson, what can he do? Gonna show him the nose. Parmalee comes down the racetrack. He goes around, stack up, big time wreck, and Pops gets a piece of that there, head on into the wall. Big stack up. Big stack up. Well, we kind of saw this coming. You know, you don't want to watch the train continue to go by, but you know, this is where it would be nice to have that. What do you call it? Well, you just call it a spotter in real life here. If you could have the live spotter over the virtual, because yeah, it's open there, but you are not going to get down there. That was always getting filled. And the 9, I mean, he's to the number there when they make contact. He's holding the line. Normally goes down. Andy Patton gets into the back of him there. Looked like the 37, he was going to make it out of there, but the 68, he gets a big rear bumper of the 37. 26 returns the favor, and you just see, I mean, big pile up. Happens quick. Tough to see out these windshields, especially when something, you know, is happening right, you know, not right in front of you, I should say, and you got a car in front of you, right in front of you. It's really tough to kind of look around, be able to pinpoint. Yeah, a little bit of, you know, what that's like. And, no, actually, let's go. This would be better. This is what they see, you know, if they're on a single monitor like me. Would be the settings I run. A little bit of feet, a lot of wheel. I like sitting low in the seat. I'm kind of looking down. But if I'm being honest, I'm trying to talk this up. I got new settings from a guy. I haven't driven these since these settings. We would probably, you know, move the seat up a little bit if we were driving. You know, put a little 2-inch padding under the butt there, raise us up a little bit. And if anybody is that's watching this, is watching the Chili Bowl right now, by God, feel free to give me updates here. It's almost encouraged, actually. And no, Brendan, that wasn't nothing like that, man. It was just, you know, I mean, basically hillbilly front-wheel drives. They had a 4-cylinder class, a 6-cylinder class. And then my last year, you could run 4 cylinders or 6 cylinders if you wanted to, because of idiots were starting to put. I mean, dude, if you won my feature on a Friday night, you got $250, okay? there were people starting to show up with Dodge Neons that, I kid you not, I mean, they had 5-6 grand under that hood, and it got to the point where, like I say, I'm not bad-mouthing us, but, you know, we're not rich by any means, so we kind of got priced out of it. And it got tough to do. Because, yeah, I meant what I said. You know, when guys started showing up, doing different things, other guys, I was the second guy to show up at the racetrack with the car that I had as the green flag waves were back underway. But, you know, guys started putting a lot of money into the car that I had, and it just got unreasonable. Joe Canellas makes the move there for P2. That's the first guy to get the outside to work. He held it enough coming off the corner that Dave couldn't get a good exit there on those cold tires, and Joe Canellas up to P2. They got to try to put as many cars as they can in between them and the Flamin' Hot Cheetos, Keith Kincaid. He tries to work the outside. This is something that may get the 37 of Tim Chapman a little excited here. Watching Keith Kincaid have to work, using up those tires. It's not going to be good for him. Is the yellow flag going to wave? I believe that was Greg Parmalee. Got bounced around, had to tow it there. Maybe didn't have to tow it, did tow it. Said enough's enough. And let's see if we can take a look here. Yeah, I mean, the boss man drives it in deep, just gets into the back of him. I mean, it looked like he was going to leave it open, decided to shut it there on corner entry, and the 68 just not able to lift in time, and caution flag waves. Scott Tice out front. Robert Keller deciding, hey, I'm going to come down for tires. Wouldn't be surprised if this is the 57's last pit stop of the night here. As you know, they jack up the right sides. I don't mean to bore us, but let's see. I'm interested to see if this is a bigger racetrack. I think if you wanted to, you could get away with 4 tires. Yeah, okay. Normally they have to stick to a right side tire only. But at the bigger racetrack here, and obviously you say bigger, what? This is USA. Big compared to what they run on. Scott Tice, he's going down the pit road now. Robert Keller already went down pit road. Is there some tomfoolery to this? Can he motor around the racetrack and possibly beat these guys? Get in front of them? This is going to be interesting. Maybe he waited kind of towards the back, and, you know, that's something I've done in official races. It's pretty genius. You wait till that pit road's open, and you go in, and then you can motor around those guys, because those guys, see, they were going pace speed that whole time. And Mr. Keller, I tip my cap, brother. That is a good move. When we go to get this restart, though, Dave Stinson is not going to like what he sees in that rearview mirror, boy. Keith Kincaid, and he is going to be itching to get back to the front here. I believe that was contact with him, and I don't think it was Chris Farmer. They both run that black and green car now, dang it. I believe it was the 26 of Frank Barbary. So, you know, a little bit of, maybe a little residue left over from the earlier spat here. As you look to the sky, the green flag's high. We're going to make the rubber fly. 38 laps left to go play at the USA Speedway. Barbary knows, got to get to the inside. Not able to do it. Keith Kincaid going to shove his nose underneath. Barbary with a good run there, though. Does he shut the door on corner exit? No. Keith Kincaid to the bottom. Battle on for P2. Side by side, Barbary knows he's got to give in here, just falls in line, and that's the smart move. I don't think you want to burn your stuff up on the outside just yet. Fall in line. Watch Keith go to work on Stinson here, who makes one mistake, and there he is, the Flamin' Hot Cheeto. Boy, oh boy, he'll burn you. I mean, that thing is hot. The 17, quick race car here tonight in Florida. Back out front. Stinson trying to make it work on the outside. Doesn't look like he's going to do it. He's got Barbering out of the inside. They may have made a little contact. Here comes the man on the freshest tires, Robert Keller. Here we go, the 57. Using a genius strategy there down pit road, going a little early before the leaders. Found a way to get out in front of the man that's behind him. Scott Tice probably wondering, how did you get in front of me and you still got new tires? Well, Scott, just rewind. Hit rewind a little bit, and maybe you'll have one in the bag for next week. Stinson goes right back to the bottom, trying to protect P3 here. I mean, the hurricane is a-coming. Robert Keller, here we go, zooming in on the Hot Wheels machine. Stinson throws the block, overdrives corner entry. The Hurricane trying to get the run off. He does use the nose. I suppose he sticks it to the inside. Battling for third. Only a matter of time with that fresh rubber, and Robert Keller puts himself on the bottom step of the podium, but Stinson trying to fight back. Scott Tice, Tim Chapman, Joe Canellis, here we go. 5 guys under the blanket here for the bottom step of the podium. Keller clear, Tice clears. Chapman can't get under Stinson. He goes way too low, gets way too aggressive there. And now Joe Canellis takes advantage. And boy, oh boy, sometimes you just gotta lick the wounds here. And Tim, gonna be forced to do that. You got Brill now underneath. Not the mistake you want to make there. Body check with the 88. Now we get single file. Tim gets into the back of the 88 there. Not too sure if Dave got loose or if Tim overdrove. Either way, they live to race another day. Here comes Greg Boydell to the party. Joe Canellis moves himself into P5. Battle on for third. Scott Tice taking a peek, gets by the Hurricane. Move Tice into P3. Robert Keller trying to just keep pace here. Doesn't want to be Joe Canella's next victim here. As Dave Brill continues to reel in the Hot Wheels machine of Dave Stinson, trying to look to the outside. He's got to be cautious, though. He's got Tim Chapman behind him. There was already contact there once. He doesn't want to invite it one more time here. And if you keep looking to the outside, it's exactly what he's going to do. Now he arcs that corner perfectly. Hits the apex. Gets all over the deck lid here of the 9, but not close enough yet to make it shine. Barbary P2, there's about a 1.1 second gap in between him, or in between first and third, as Barbary has himself in a nice little cushion, but with 25 laps to go. Either cushion could disappear. He could reel in Keith Kincaid if he's left a little something, or by God, you know that man with 18 lap fresher tires behind him is gonna hunt. Scott Tice wants nothing more than to go up there and run down Keith Kincaid. But if it stays green, I just don't know if he has the time. Dave Stinson gets a little loose there coming off the 2, but Tim not close enough to stick the nose underneath. But we did miss a pass. Tim must have gotten around the 88 of Dave Brill. Now, can he get around Stinson here as he's got to quit playing that game? Stinson's going to go down and protect, but you've got to play your own game here. You got to do what you need to do because now, see, corner entry block. Dave Brill trying to set you up. You overdrive that a little bit, getting the brake too hard, rear end step around, and man, oh man, you're playing a game out there. I know you're racing, but you gotta play the game. You gotta move the pieces at the right time. And right now, Tim just entering the corner a little too low to get that done. I like what I see there until the middle of the corner. Drives it in too deep, can't hit the apex. And now you got the 88 underneath. Scott Tice, I told you, the gap could disappear between Barbary and himself, and boy, it has. Scott Tice knocking on the door here, 20 laps to go. Joe Canellas as well reeling in Robert Keller here. Joe last came down pit road on lap 60. Right there on the Tyson Keller tire strategy. Has done a good job maintaining this thing. Tim Chapman trying to look to the outside here. Trying to will that thing around. Stinson doing a good job here. And Tim, that's where I would have sent it down low on him. Stuck the right front underneath, but he goes back to the outside one more time. And Dave says, I can't do it. I can't follow you around on the outside. Got to try to go to the bottom. Tim continuing to claw on that top shelf. Can he get a run this time? No, he can't, as Scott Tice. Not there yet, but he is close. We will take a peek once again at the best action here on the racetrack. Dave Brill trying to maybe think about making it 3 wide here, but there's not a lot of room at the USA International Speedway. He's gonna do it though, and Stinson goes hard into the inside wall. No caution flag yet. I don't know if we're gonna get one. Driver straighten it out. They're driving down to the pits. Keith Kincaid continues to see the green lights. Frank Barbary, did he save enough in the tank here? Does he have enough right side tire to hold off Tice? They're both possibly reeling in Keith Kincaid. As I had mentioned, it was 1.1 earlier, but then it had opened up to about 1.5 between Kincaid and Barbary. You gotta wonder, is that him being pushed? Is now with that contact, not much racing going on here. I mean, these three are battling for position now. As soon as I say that, Boydell trying to take a peek on the inside. Can't get it done. 13 laps to go here for the Flamin' Hot Cheeto. Frank Barbary hitting his lines until then. Misses the apex a little bit. But Scott Tice not close enough to stick the nose underneath. And he is going to be kicking himself here. And Keith Kincaid, he may be kicking himself here soon too. He's coming up on lap traffic. The lead has shrunk back down to 1.2 seconds. And Keith Kincaid, he may be running out of lanes to do things here. We got Andy Pett. He's getting up out of the way. The general not going to be a factor in this, doing the right thing. Got Cassidy getting up out of the way. Brill, he continues to hold his pace. Not a problem at the moment, but if Kincaid catches him at the wrong time, could be a big deal here. Lead is falling to 1 second with 10 to go. Frank Barbary trying to get every ounce he can out of this 26 machine. He is driving the absolute you-know-what out of this thing. Good run through 3 and 4. Lead down to 0.7 of a second. Frank Barbary. Where did the 26 come from? Keith Kincaid starting to struggle here in this 17 machine. I don't know if he possibly smacked the wall or if he's got damage, but the 17 really starting to struggle here. And Frank Barbary looking to make a move for the lead, not just yet. Here we go, 7 laps left here at the USA International Speedway. 3 drivers under a blanket. Keith gonna hold the bottom. Barbary not gonna be able to get down there, not yet. Tries to send it in deep, can't do it. 6 trips around the sun this time by. Oh, Barbary gets the nose. There's contact. Robbins racing. You got fenders. Use them. Frank Barbary to the point. Scott Tice trying to work his magic to 24. Slides up the racetrack. Kincaid tries to work back underneath as they're side by side. Tice shuts the door. Kincaid plays nice there. Gets on the binders. Lets him gather it up. We've got 5 to go. Four more laps here this time by. Can Scott Tice go up here and run down Frank Barbary, or did Frank the Tank save enough to hold this thing on? Hold this thing on. Hold on to this thing. Even I'm losing my mind. Unbelievable. This is one of the first times this season that we've seen Keith struggle in a long run. And 2 drivers, let alone 1, working by him here. With under 5 laps to go, they're pulling away from Keith Kincaid. What is going to happen here? 2 more laps to go. 2 fingers in the air. Scott Tice not close enough yet for the big send. Does he try to get there? This is a big moment. He's got to cut it down to under 0.2 this time by if he wants to go work. 1/4 second, though, at the line. White flag flies, 1 to go. Oh, Andy Patton gets up out of the way, but Barbary got nervous. Down to under the 2-second or 2/10 gap I talked about. Tice to the outside, Barbary to the bottom. As we come to the line for the final time, Frank Barbary in victory lane here for the Senex Short Track Championship Series. Scott Tice P2 and the Flamin' Hot Cheeto rounds out the podium. Robert Keller, Joe Canellis, Tim Chapman, Greg Boydell, Andy Patton, Rob Cassidy, Dave Brill, Derek Clounch, Dave Stinson, Greg Parmley, Ed Papineau, and Chris Farmer. Round out your field. Let's go. I mean, what a green flag run to bring that thing to a close. I mean, that was impressive. What more can you ask for? Now, dang it, because I don't have the dirt. No, you know what? Nah, who cares? Who cares? I was going to say I could load up the dirt camera to get the zoom. But this is okay. We'll live with this for tonight. We'll let these guys breathe here for a minute or 2, and then we'll get ready to talk to our top 3. We'll start with Keith Kincaid when he makes his way up here. But I know those guys get a podium shot. They tell everybody, line up, do this. they got a little bit going on. But hey, he's up here. He's ready. Let's pull him up and get a chance to talk to the 17. Keith, man, did I miss something there, or did we drive it a little too hard to start the run? I couldn't tell if maybe you tapped the wall, something broke, but man, that thing seemed to really spike off there the final 7-8 laps or so.
No, Shaggy, we just used all the tires up. Those guys had fresher tires, and it really showed there at the end. I tried to stay out that last caution to make sure that I kept my track position, and tires went away, and it bit me there at the end.
Yeah, you're obviously doing your best trying to hold the bottom, but I want to, kind of congratulate you and, well, thank you for Scott Tice if he does it later. How bad, you never want to do what you did there, but I know what you did. Maybe everybody else does it. He comes down across you, your tires are old. He's got the quicker race car. Man, but sometimes it's kind of hard to swallow that pride. How tough was it to let him gather that thing up?
It was pretty tough. I thought a third place finish was better than a crashed race car. So I backed out, let them gather it up, and it licked my wounds, and limped her home in third.
Yeah, man, and that's a big time move, as you say. That's the big picture thinking. Third place points, nothing wrong with that, especially after a win last week at Martinsville. So heck of a way to kick off the season so far, Keith. Averaging a P2, can't do much better than that, man. You got anybody you want to thank on the podium?
I appreciate it, Shaggy. Yeah, I just want to thank all our racers for coming out and racing with us. Great group of guys, and look forward to it every week. Thank you.
Well, hey, good luck here in the dirt. I got a feeling I'm going to be talking to you again.
All right. Sounds good, Shaggy. Bye.
Keith Kincaid bringing home P3. And now the other guys, they're down in their Discord. I don't think I seriously doubt they're still having a conversation this long. So I'm going to risk it for the biscuit, as they say, and go ahead and pull up your P2 finisher here. We'll see if we got a copy. Scott, Shaggy in the booth, man. You there?
I got you.
Well, I'll tell you what, brother. It's not very often, that you get to run down that 17, and it looked like there for a little bit you were maybe quicker than Robert. You caught him at a good pace, but then he started to go. Did you maybe how do I word this? Maybe looking back, hey, when I was a little quicker than him, I should have been more aggressive, or do you still think being patient there and just kind of following him up to Keith was the right move?
Well, I was thinking patience would prevail, but Frank was saving tires, and when he took off there at the end, we kind of seen Keith. He got in that early race little hiccup there, and 10 laps to go, I could see reeling him in, and then I guess Frank got happy and he took off. So I'm happy to come away with what we got.
Yeah, and obviously Keith, he was kind of way out front there in the beginning, if we're being honest. When you see him get into that accident there, does that kind of refresh it a little bit, kind of reset that attitude? And realistically, that's gotta make you kind of think, hey, I got a chance to go get this thing now.
Yeah, I felt good. Actually, I was watching him in practice and picked up a couple things, and I felt really good. That's odd to say for me for asphalt, but I felt really good, and I kind of thought that might actually play out to his advantage. Having some fresh tires, he'd had to come back up through the field, but I thought that if anybody can make it work, Keith would be back up there at the end of the race. But he just had to use up a little bit more tire than what he should have, to be able to win it.
Yep, and at the end of the day, I preached it all night. You need that sneaker for the end, man, and you had enough to bring home P2. Heck of a job, Scott. Congratulations on the podium. You got anybody you want to thank?
Thanks, Shaggy. Yeah, MRL, Kyle and those guys, Keith and Joe and Rob, for keeping the wheels on this bus and making it grow, and all the racers that come out, just a great group of guys, and I want to thank you for putting this stuff on, making it exciting. I can't wait to watch it.
Well, dude, you guys running down Keith, don't act for a damn second, Scott, that I made it exciting. You guys did, brother. That was I never root against Keith. So I'm kind of wording this wrong, but it is nice, seeing guys come up there and kind of, I mean, have the quicker car at the end. It's something he's definitely not used to. And it was a good sight to see tonight, Scott. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Scott Tice bringing home P2. And now we get to talk to the belle of the ball here, Mr. Barbary. Boy, oh boy, man, did you have me fooled. I'd mentioned with about 20 laps to go that, hey, keep an eye on that relative. You're starting to reel him back in because it was hanging around 1.1 seconds, and he pulled away to about 1.6, 1.7. And, I mean, as soon as Tice got to you, boy, oh boy, you kicked that thing into overdrive, brother, and, man, you surprised the hell out of me. Where did that come from?
I just I sat back there and just ran my pace, ran my line, and he was running hard. I don't know why he was running so hard, but he was wanting to get the heck away from me, I think. And then I think he ran the tires off of it, and I still had 54% when I finished. Front tire, front right tire, and I just kept hugging that line, yellow line, and getting my tires on that black. There was black around the bottom, and just kept working on it. And finally, I got to his bumper and had to rough him up a little bit because he kept on, blocking me there. So I had to put the bumper to him.
Yeah, I mean,
But,
that's short
yeah,
track racing, brother. I mean, if somebody's
yeah,
going to block you like that, you did it the right way. You didn't spin him. I mean, we saw
yeah,
all sorts of bumping here tonight, but man, you were the one.
yeah,
You did it the right way. You did it clean,
yeah,
and I mean, you used up what you had to. Now, when you got by him, Frank, okay, because you pit on the same lap as Keith. You had the same old
yeah.
tires that he had, but that man behind you, he had 18 lap fresher tires. Were you
Yeah, he
worried at
did.
all?
No, I wasn't worried about Scott. I wasn't worried about him because he would have had to root me out of the way the same way because I was hugging that line, and he would have had to bump me to get me out of there. And Scott's a clean racer, so I wasn't
Well,
too worried about Scott.
Well, I'll tell you what, Frank. It is not easy to be that snake in the grass, man, and just lay there, be patient, and watch that rabbit run away from you, man. But you snuck up on him at the end, and you got him. That is a hell of a drive, Frank. And I mean, definitely,
Keith is
we're only
that Keith is hard to beat.
yes he is, and I mean to play that long game, that we've seen him play so many times over the seasons. I mean, you beat
Yeah,
him at his own game. That's a
yeah.
hell of a job, Frank. Congrats on the big
Uh,
win. Who you
that,
want to
that,
thank?
feel, that feels good to take him on a win like that. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I want
yes. Especially like I say, I want to stress. You pit the same lap as him. I can look at
to.
that. So you guys both came down. I want to say lap 42. Yeah. So I mean,
Yeah.
you made it
Yep.
58 laps there on that final set of tires. So that's a hell of
I
a
knew
run,
I
man.
could. I knew I could only go 64 laps hard on the tires because I did practice today, and that's all I could get at him. I knew he was going to be in trouble tire wise on this track. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
And
man. Yeah, you should be. Who you want to thank on that hot rod tonight?
I want to thank the guys over at Trick Racing for helping me out and learn how to drive these cars better.
Well,
That's it.
well, I'll tell you
Sean
what.
and BP and the rest of the guys. BP, all good guys over there.
Well, man, you're at the right spot. They're making you, they're making you quick, Frank. You found something, and that was a hell of a drive. Now you set the bar, brother. Keep it up next week. I'll be looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Frank Barbary, big win here at the USA International Speedway. I mean, he took candy from a baby there at the end. That is a big one. Big win there for Frank, and we're gonna run that video we always run. We're gonna load up the replay. Which, speaking of, I did a test session with SDK. I'm just going to warn you when that caution flag comes out. If it does, we're going to hope it goes all green flag tonight. It's going to stay up there like it did last week, and that sucks for me. But we'll get over it. We'll work it together. Stick around here on Shaggy TV.
Yo, yo, yo. Tune in, don't miss. Shaggy TV, hit him with the twist. Gang on deck, let's pick up the pace. Remote in hand, it's a cartoon race. Where are you, Shaggy TV? Catch the vibes, come roll with me. Jinkies, yeah, it's action-packed. Scooby snacks and a mystery crack. Flip the channel, hit the screen. Velma's got the clues, keep it clean. Fred in the whip, Daphne looking mean. Shaggy on the snacks, munching every scene. Zoinks, got ghosts in the room. Monsters lurk, smell the cartoon fumes. Fog thicker than my uncle's perfume. Solve it quick, then straight to the tune. Where are you, Shaggy TV? Catch the vibes, come roll with me. Jinkies, yeah, it's action-packed. Scooby snacks and a mystery crack. Spooky vibes with the laugh on top. Masked villains, every case non-stop. Trapdoor falls, but the plan don't flop. Cue the laugh track, tick tock, tick tock.
God, I love that song. Man, Tyler Off is awesome. You know, I was iffy about it at first. But man, I actually do. The vote is out. I dig it. Caution flag about to wave on warm-ups. Voila. And here we go. We're going to take a look at qualifying. We were just here. I should say, you know, we should have done it opposite, you know, but Monday, I guess it would have been, you know, Friday, Saturday, we had the boys come in, throw dirt on this place for Monday night's race. Then they had to get all that dang dirt off and get her ready for the asphalt race, which we just had live. You know, didn't really make much sense to me, but apparently budget not a problem this season here for the boys. See the 88 of Dave Brill go out here for lap numero uno, the double eight. Off of 4, going to take the green flag, and lap number 1 about to be underway. Brill looked pretty good there through 1 and 2. That was smooth. I don't really know what line you want to be at. If you do, I would think you want to dip the nose in a little lower if you could. And get as close to that inside wall, maybe trim the grass here a little bit on the entry to 1. It's been a while since I've been in one of these puppies. His Brill is at the top of the charts, but for not for long, the Iron Man jumps up to the top, the 014. Got the polar bear on board again here this weekend. 2 polar bears, I should say. Sharing a Coke. Can he find more time? Greg Boydell. This time by not gonna speed up. 21:04 is his best lap. Joe Canella's driving into 3. Man, look at that thing shine. Got our man, Bill Calder, on the hood. The 325 forever. As Joe Canella's crosses the line. The 21:4. 1-4, excuse me. Runs P4 there. Quickest man on the charts, 21:04, Greg Boydell for the moment. Scott Tice. Keith Kincaid just got in his race car, so he's going to be the last guy to go out. Qualifying, but they have 2 minutes and 55 seconds left there, as you can see. Plenty of time. And there you can see the line I was talking about. Tice getting as close as he can to that green, but now he really, really slipped up off of 2. So it tells me he can make some more time, even though it's a purple sector, believe it or not. Tice could get a little better there. Let's see. Oh, man. Just got too low off of 4. Didn't really float up to that cushion. And Scott Tice jumps up to P3. We all know Tice would have liked a little more than that. It's Keith Kincaid. Surprise, surprise. 20.96. That'll fill in for you guys. when he comes around the second time. You know how SDK works in the replay by now. But man, oh man, Keith Kincaid, does he improve this time? By golly. Runs a dang near identical lap. That 20.905. That is... I mean, that's crazy. You know, you couldn't go out and run identical laps if you were really trying to. Let's see. Am I lying to you guys? Because I don't know why. But according to the software, it said they were... Yeah, see? That was a 958.905. Software does lie sometimes. But nearly identical. I mean, you're not going to pick that apart with your eyes there. I mean, with a stopwatch, I don't even know if you could do it. You're probably still going to click the same time. Speaking of time, I'm clicking the wrong one. 1 minute there left, so we'll just kind of hang out here. Oh, wait, no, duh. Fast forward. None of these guys want to stay up late for their interviews. They already know where they finished. They just want to see the race and they want to hear me scream. They want to make me lose my voice. That's what this is about. I get it. Nothing personal by them. I totally understand. Checkered flag waves. Should have 2 heat races. Yeah. 6 and a 6. Row 3 to the outside, the 68 of the boss man, Rob Cassidy, to the inside, the 19 of Russell Harold. Row 2 to the outside, the 87 of the General, Andy Patton, to the inside, the 88 of Dave Brill. Row 1 for heat race number 1. Winner starts on the pole. For the A main to the outside, the 04 of Greg Parmalee, and starting on the pole, the 17. The Flamin' Hot Cheetah. Okay. Actually, remembering that we have the fast forward thing, we're going to do that for the opening out lap here. USA is such a long way around. We'll pause it here. We'll prep the voice. Get it back going down the backstretch here. 1 to go. Interesting to see, too. I wonder if it'll get dark here for the feature. That will, you know, make the cars handle a little differently. So, we'll have to see the drivers if they're ready. As you take a look to the Florida sky, the green flag is high. It's time to make the dirt fly. 10 laps to play. Heat race number 1 underway. Side by side there for second. Right away, Greg Parmalee over, undercuts underneath. Whoa, boy, almost contact there. Dave Brill gave him room. Parmalee shuts the door. Contact. Caution flag waves. No way is it going to do this to us again. There's no caution flag. There isn't a caution flag. I told you it was coming. That means that maybe there's one coming here later in the heat race. I don't want to foreshadow, but according to the replay, that's what I was seeing. So, shame on this yellow flag here. So I wonder if I go like this. You know, let me see something here. Can I force it off? No, it even stays on that one. That stinks. Maybe I'll play around, though, with this overlay. Let me know what you guys think in the Discord, the one that's watching. This is maybe something, you know, you want for the dirt side or asphalt side. I'll get rid of the SDK thing up top eventually. No, you know what? I hate it enough that I need the tower for dirt, but I can give you guys that in asphalt. There's so much happening. I mean, not right now, if you want the truth. It's cars single file everywhere, all over the racetrack. But I mean, so much happening in the feature that I like watching the tower jump around. You know, I don't know how you guys feel. I've always been a watch the tower jump around. I mean, my eyes are fixed at that tower a lot. Even on TV. I'm not going to hate on him. I would love to work with Flo. That would be great. But, man, the first thing I would do, I think, if that place was mine, would try to get a tower like that uses it. Because I hate watching it update as they cross the line. I guess it's tough. Probably more expensive for dirt racing. But, man, it would be cool to get that. Coming to 3 laps to go. Okay, 1.3 seconds out front. This is your quote-unquote closest battle on the racetrack. Andy Patton running around here. Reeling in the 88. Andy Patton good in late models. Pretty good in sprint cars too. So it's only a matter of time before Andy Patton comes up here and possibly collects a checkered flag, but definitely gonna start racking off some podiums here before too long as Keith Kincaid sees the white flag wave. 1 lap to go for the Flamin' Hot Cheeto. Down there, cuts the grass a little bit on the entry to 1. Perfect grip off the 2. You see that rear end not sliding at all. He is on rails. Good entry into 3, even through the slick. As you see the checkered flag wave, Keith Kincaid wins heat race number 1. Greg Parmalee, Dave Brill, Andy Patton, Russell Harold, and Rob Cassidy rounds out the field. All right. Let's take a look. Starting grid. Heat race number 2. Running out the field. Row 3 to the outside. The 55 of Ben Gunther to the inside. The 01 of Ed Papano. Row 2 to the top shelf. The 75 of the Mayor. Steve Bixler to the inside. The 1K of Joe Canellis. Row 1 for heat race number 2 to the outside. The 24 of Scotty Tice. And starting on the pole, the Iron Man in the 014, GJ Goodell. As yeah, Legends, I'm not sure, you know, what your name is, or I'd address you by name, but yes, that was a big win for Frank. That was big time. Well deserved. I mean, that's somebody, he has been definitely working for one of those for a while. It's only right he got one. Oh, it's CP. What's up, brother? That's right. I should have known by the legends. I'm an idiot. You know, sometimes I smoke a little too much. These guys know that about me. The memory isn't always there. This is kind of a crapshoot, too. Man, this really could be... No offense to the guys in row 3, but, through rows 1 and 2, this could be... Dude, we're adults, man. Water under the bridge, brother. I don't have any time for stuff like that. As the green flag waves, we are underway. I got enough problems of my own, brother. You know, gotta focus on me here. As Greg Boydell has a hiccup there through 1 and 2. Scott Tice with the big run. He takes the lead. We zoom out here. Joe Canellis gets a run on the outside. That effing caution banner. It's not going to go away under these replays. Son of man. All right. I did it all week last week. Promise I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to complain about it. But I am going to message SDK as soon as I get off here. That's up. Even had an update 2 days ago. Scott Tice leads the way, 8 laps to play. Joe Canellas in the closest battle on the racetrack here. He's got the 75. Well, then as soon as I say that, the mare sneaks up a little bit on the entry to 1 and, man, loses a lot of ground. And so does Joe on the exit. Now G.J. Boydell, he reels in Scott Tice. And if not for a rough start on the inside, I mean, the roles could easily be reversed. I told you, Greg Boydell, great guy on dirt. And I mean, I mentioned before, I'll thank him again. Shows up at my 24-hour practice there for Daytona. He's watching my live stream, and he's kind of critiquing me, my throttle control, different areas, telling me to drag a little brake here, do this, do that. I mean, I kid you not, a lap after, I mean, it's there on video. I picked up like 3 or 4 tenths of a second. And I've since improved today. I'm getting down to the low 145s, which for me in a GT3 car, hey, feels pretty good, you know. Feels like it's swinging a little bit down there. Steve Bixler continuing to fight off the swarm. Joe Canellas working the inside. Got that Shaggy TV sticker on there. At about 6-7 extra horsepower. I don't know if, you know, he's going to want that here as the track slickens up, but now you can see him creep him in, reeling him in at the end of every straightaway, but it's not close enough to really throw that move, get underneath the 75 as the clock's starting to wind down here. Coming to 3 laps to go. This time is Scott Tice. Crosses the line, Greg Boydell. Still close, but man, just not close enough. I always forget that this thing's a Tommy Gunn custom thing. Taylor does a great job up there. I love his work. That 24 mean looking ride. 2 laps to go. Steve Bixler developed a much bigger cushion here between him and Joe Canellas. Every spot pretty much should be settled here. I mean, we're gapped out without a mistake here and or a big send. And never mind, he's close. Scott Tice hit the slip and slide there, but now Greg Boydell, oh boy, that thing ain't a lawnmower. Got too much grass and saw that gap open right back up. Final time through 3 and 4. Scott Tice just got to play nice here as he drives off the corner, grabs the checkered flag. He wins heat race number 2. Followed by G.J. Boydell, Steve Bixler, Joe Canellas, Ed Papineau, and Ben. All right, you guys know the deal now. It's a replay. Pay attention to that time up there. We get rid of this crap. And we get our music ready to play in the background for the grid. Oh, but before we do that, we have to mute ourselves on Discord because Discord sucks. And when you play music through, well, we can't say it. Never mind. All right. Get to that 50-second mark. Cue up the music. And in about a minute, we take a look at the starting lineup. And we are indeed under the lights here. So track will handle different than it did in the heat races. Ready to go play in the clay here at the USA Speed. Drivers set to go play at the USA International Speedway. Let's get ready to take a look got your starting lineup. Row 6 to the outside, the double nickel of Ben Gunther. To the inside, the 68 of the boss man, Rob Cassidy. Row 5 to the outside, the 01 of Ed Papano. To the inside, the 19 of Russell Harold. Row 4 to the top shelf, the 1K of Joe Canellas. To the inside, the 87 of the General, Andy Patton. Row 3 to the outside, the 75 of the Mayor, Steve Bixler. To the inside, the 88 of Dick Brill. Row 2, the outside, the 014 of the Iron Man, G.J. Boydell. To the inside, the 04 of Greg Parmalee. Row 1 for tonight's A-Main here in your pro late models for the Senex Short Track Championship Series. To the outside, the 24 of Scott Tyson. Starting on the pole, the Flamin' Hot Cheeto, the 17 of Keith Cade. One more trip around the sun here before drivers get to drop that hammer down here in Florida. No idea. I really do mean that too. I don't cheat when I watch these things. It's not as much fun for me. I don't think I could call it as sincerely either. If you know, I knew the results. So I have no idea who's going to win here. But remember, the race was done Monday night, so we'll skip through some cautions after we take a look at replays, because if not, I will click the go live button and I will really mess things up. I'm going to try to not do that. That's why I'm talking about it. As you look to the Florida sky, the green flag's high. We're going to make the dirt fly. Your A-Main is underway. Greg Boydell gets a good run on the outside. So does Bixler. Bixler able to clear. Greg Boydell gets the door slammed shut in his face. And you see your front two here. Scott Tice not close enough to make a move. And, well, not really going to have to pay attention, because you know what happened already on lap 1. So we'll see when it really does happen. We'll have to we'll just kind of watch cars, pay attention to leaderboards, and listen to the sounds here. Is single file for now, so false alarm. Nothing bad just yet. Russell Harold leading the second pack of cars there. As you see, the front 8 have kind of broken away. Joe Canellas trying to stay close here. Greg Boydell peeking on the inside, knocking on the door for the podium. What can the polar bear do? Parmalee going to the outside, banging the cushion already. That's only going to get quicker. And you could see there, maybe not paying off yet through 1 and 2, but it was about even. And like I say, you start getting the train up there, you get a bunch of guys to join on in, and, you know, it could get pretty interesting here, but I can't take that anymore. I am so sorry for this, but that's a field of view camera, and I didn't notice that. I can't live my life like this. You need a good zoomed out camera. You always need that as a broadcaster. You got to see what's going on. But right now, I do see what is going on towards the front. Scott Tice reeling in your leader. He's got the gap back down to under half a second. He's running the inside through 3 and 4. Look at that. 2, 3 tenths almost. Now it goes back to 2 as Keith gets a big run off of 4. But, man, making up so much time there through the center that it may be worth it, but everybody out here who runs dirt knows. You can run that until you catch him. When you get to the middle of 3 and 4 here and you want to slide up like that, well, Keith's going to be there. So you're either going to have to punt him out of the way, or you're going to have to find another way around. He continues to swing the baseball bat on the inside. Looks to the door, but doesn't have the run off a 2. Battle for third. Greg Parmalee drives it in deep on the outside. Boydell got tight on the inside in the 0-1-4. The Iron Man got to fall back in line, try to do it one more time. Andy Patton goes over the grass on the entry to 1. Dave Brill jumps the cushion. We're side by side, but once again, being able to get that power down on the outside is just, man, that's where you want to be. It's not even where you want to be. It's where you need to be if you want to be making the passes here in the early stages. Tice still trying to prove me wrong, though. Back down to the bottom. What can he do? The 24 machine. I mean, he is so good there through 3 and 4. 1 and 2, I mean, it's even. Maybe even Keith gets him a tad. But the difference is turns 3 and 4 for the 24 machine. And Scott says, you know what? Sticks the finger out at the camera here. Tells me he's quicker in 1 and 2, too. Reels him back in. There misses the bottom a little bit on corner entry. And Keith extends the lead back up to over half a second. Joe Canella still tucked in line behind the 87, but how long till he, gets sick of this, wants to make a move here as we ride alongside here with Joe Canellas. Saw it in the Cars movie, they tried to teach you got to turn right to go left on dirt. You're going to see one quick hitch, and then we're turning right. We're just trying to keep this thing straight, get her back to straight, so we can hammer down right now. And that's how you get this thing to sing. It is a lot of fun to go out here and wheel a late model. And I always recommend, if you are over 50 years old, you are watching this thing, I'm telling you, you don't need anything expensive. Ask your grandson to give you his old graphics card. Buy him a new one for his birthday or Christmas. It'll run iRacing. Get yourself a computer and a cheap wheel, man. If you're over 50, this is the place to learn. This is the place to do it. I mean, so far, we've had, 14 laps, green flag. We have had 1 flag this whole time. Will it change here as Andy Patton peeks on the inside of Dave Brill? Playing nice so far. The general not ready to unleash the troops here just yet. Thought he was going to throw a slide job, but stays down low. Here comes a big move up here. Greg Boydell. No, can't get Steve Bixler back. And the mare, rope-a-dope on the outside to 75. Man, somewhere there's a kid named Blake Chapman with a big smile on his face watching that 75. The mayor of his hometown rip the outside, send that bad boy wide. Greg Boydell, though, shuts the door. Bixler gets a little loose that time off of 2. What do I see? Battle for the lead. And there is contact. Scott Tice gets into the 17. I said if he was going to make it work on the bottom of 3 and 4, was going to have to be willing to use that door. He did exactly that. New leader. 17 laps to go as we roll off of 4. Keith Kincaid, he duly noted, he said he learned that line on the bottom. Gonna use it back. You gotta be willing to use the fenders, man. They put them on there for a reason. Boy, oh boy, Keith Kincaid. You know he is driving like a madman right now. Keith looking to the inside, playing nice for now. What does he do here in 1? He goes to the outside, gonna look for a cut down line. What kind of steam can he get here? Not enough, had to crack the throttle, you can hear it. That patch of slick is just enough, man, to nick him there in the back, had to lift out of it. Scott Tice, will he be able to unravel the string of yarn here, pull away? Oh, and Andy Patton jumps the cushion. He goes up high and wide, and we've got that first caution. And it is for the 0-1 of Ed Papineau. Let's see if we can see what happened here. Just gets loose. Solo car spin. Drives it in there a little too deep over the slick. Hard into the inside wall. And leader's coming. Caution flag. Gotta wait. Get us to 1 to green, which should be right now. Indeed it is. No, we know. Damn it. That's right. This is the one thing I hated about SDK. So we're gonna be on lap 22 when we get the green flag. So there's gonna be 13 laps to go. We'll see if this resets. Hopefully it does reset. But if not, odds are I'm probably going to fail the math on the fly. I've become so dependent on that leader. As you look to the Florida sky, the green flag is high. The 24 gonna make some dirt fly. We are back underway at the USA International Speedway. Keith Kincaid gets a big run, battle for the lead. Here we go. The Flamin' Hot Cheeto looking to slide his way back into the lead. He does. Scott Tice cuts back. Can he get underneath? To the door. Kincaid gonna slam it shut. Scott Tice trying to stay underneath. Boydell up into the final podium spot. Maybe they did 40 laps and I said 35 this whole time, because now SDK went back up and it's 12 to go. So I am going to trust SDK here. But boy, oh boy, here we go, elbows out. Caution flag should wave. Hasn't waved yet. Will it wave? Caution flag does wave, and those guys go around. I'm not sure if Scott Tice is, if that's a self-penalization thing there, if he was slowing down, or if he will regain the lead. Let's go look at this. We saw it, but it was kind of from that side TV view. Let's go up top and see who we want to blame here. Because at first glance, it's easy. You want to blame Scott Tice here. He's right down there. Yeah, I mean, Scott is about as low as you can go, and he tried to straighten it out, but it just goes up there, grabs the right rear, he gets hard into the wall, and it breaks it, and that's tough, man. You do not want to see that at all. You don't. I mean, it's tough, especially tough for kids. But man, that is as close to a racing deal as you can have, I think. And there, no, you see the yellow flag wave. Those guys were racing hard to the line behind. That isn't a penalization. I wouldn't do. No, I'm glad Scott decided against that, because you would hate to. Have lose the lead like that in a. I mean, like I say, it's tough. Nobody don't want to have it happen to you, but man, that happens in racing sometimes. Overlay. Hopefully, it fixes itself. But the boss man is not your leader. Ben Gunther is not in second. They are at the tail end here. Scott Tice and Greg Boydell, your front row as we come back to the restart. Keith Kincaid does finish the tow, gets back out on the racetrack. That's a big deal. That is a big deal. He can easily race his way back onto the... Well, not easily. He can race his way back onto the podium. He's got time. Tice drops the hammer. We're back underway. We'll see. It says 11 laps yet to play. Scott Greg Parmalee as the race leader here. For some reason, not counting Scott Tice right now. Yellow flag not really waving. We know that's a lie. But I don't like it saying Scott Tice this long isn't in the lead, though. But from what I understand, we're watching the battle for second. Look at Greg Boydell. Big move on Parmalee. This is the battle of the Gregs. GJ rolling the outside. Deep real big. Oh, welcome to the party. Boy, oh boy, here we go. Parking lot. Keith Kincaid smiling like the butcher's dog. Welcome back to P3, Keith. No, broken right front. Broken right front for the 17 of Keith Kincaid. He's going to have to go down pit road. I mean, he is all but he's going to have to. Oh my gosh. Keith Kincaid stayed out there. Maybe he doesn't feel it, or maybe he feels like, you know, if anybody can do this thing, I can do this thing. I think the lights were on the pace car there, but not the track. Which was really weird. Yeah. They were definitely not on the backstretch. So lights not working on the track for some reason, working on the pace car. Lights are off. We go back this time by. I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on here, but I mean, my SDK has him. It does. It still has him. Since he's ran 28.52 laps as opposed to everyone else 29.5. I hope it kind of corrects itself here. Yeah, Bicky, these are pro lights. It's the 50 and older league that my pops is in. Doesn't run dirt though. As the green flag waves, we're back underway, and this is just a replay as well, Vicky. It's a replay file, so that's why you'll see my leaderboard acting a little funky every now and then. Greg Boydell goes to the inside. Scott Tice now does get put back out front. Makes the move on the boss man. Now Boydell trying to work by Keith Kincaid. Keith Kincaid, remember, broken right front. I don't know if he knows it. I do know the 68 just smashed the inside wall after some contact. And the yellow flag going to wave one more time. And, you know, I don't want to look into the crystal ball too far here, but maybe we'll have some guys come join the waiting room for their interviews. But I know a man in that 17. He normally waits all the time in the waiting room. Normally doesn't leave. Maybe he's got something going on, though. But this may be a good look for the man in the 014, Greg Boydell. He may have a shot at a podium here. So, oh. Scott Tice go that early? I mean, if he did, that's awesome. Or are we just tightening up? No, that's still a yellow flag. We're not going back green just yet. So that would have been incredible if he launched it at the end of the backstretch. I would have loved that. I've never seen that yet. All right. They're lining up a little more serious this time. Light should be off. Yes, you look to the sky. The green flag is high. We're ready to make the dirt fly. We're back underway once again at the USA International Speedway. Andy Patton jumps the cushion. The general, though, gets back on the horse, holds on to P2. But Greg Boydell, I told you, I was worried for the flaming hot Cheeto and that right front. That may doom the man here as Boydell gets around safe and sound. Move the 014 to P3. Greg Parmalee and Russell Harold hard into the outside wall. And that is one. We've seen all the other caution flags. I want to look at this one, if it even is a caution flag. So it looked like the 19. Oh, okay. He's just on the loud pedal through the slick. You can see him crank it right. He's trying to get under Keith, but that's sometimes. It's not sometimes. All the times in these late models, too much throttle, it'll get you into trouble. And you can see the right front's flapping there from the 19, so he's broke. And Greg Parmalee, he's going to come in here. He's going to get a big piece of this. There's going to be nowhere to go. Yes, that is how Greg gets involved. Right front broke on his as well. It's easy to do, man. It is easy to break these things. Well, actually, did we stay green? Yeah, no yellow flag yet. They stayed green. Not too sure if maybe they were able to get off the racetrack safely, or we just didn't get the caution flag yet. Nope, he gets there. No caution flag. GJ Boydell gets around Andy Patton, who jumps the cushion one more time. The general. Can he hold on to P3 now is the question. 2 laps to go. Scott Tice in the lead by a long shot. Andy Patton jumps it one more time. You got to wonder, is the right front broke on the 87? I mean, it is pushing up the racetrack. Joe Canella's slide job. He moves himself into P3 as the white flag waves. 1 lap to go. Scott Tice able to nab the asphalt portion. To my surprise, he was able to nab the double off of 4 for the final time. Checkered flag waves. No, now it's the white flag. That's right. It did that to us last time. STK sucks. We got to try this one more time. Now, for the final time, through 3 and 4, Scott Tice pins it to the outside, sees the checkered flag wave, and he sweeps the USA International Speedway. GJ Boydell, Joe Canellis, Keith Kincaid, Steve Bixler, Andy Patton, Dave Brill coming around. The 88 looks to be broken here as Cassidy gets him. Coming to the line, Dave Brill, P8, Russell Harold 9th, Greg Parmalee 10th. Or no, Ben Gunther gets him actually as he crosses the line there. And Papineau rounds out the field, but Scott Tice, what? That dirty dog. Good run there out of Scott. I mean, I don't know how he did a good job of keeping that quiet. I may have hinted it, possibly talking to me later. There are a lot of things I maybe would have done there. He didn't even think about it. Let's see. Let's time this up. And do we have anybody? Oh, yeah. They snuck in here. We did get 2 people in Discord. Nice. Good surprise. That's fine. You know, I guess you'll get to cheat here. You'll get to see who it is. And we'll get a word here with the driver of the 1K, Joe Canellis. Joe, Shaggy, man, you got a copy?
Yeah, Shaggy, how you doing?
Well, not as good as you, man. We're winning sweatshirts. We're getting podiums. You had to feel good after this one, man. That was a heck of a run.
Yeah, absolutely, Shaggy. It felt good. Always good to get on the podium with these guys.
Yeah, and I mean, it's always good. I compliment you all the time, but seeing that Calder Strong sticker on the podium, man, I know that means something to Bill if he's wasting his time watching this nonsense right now. But Joe, you had to work, and it's not easy to get around Keith, but it's a little easier when the right front's broken. Did you know he had damage?
I did. I thought he, had some damage. I knew he had some. I'd seen it, but had it been that inside left, he'd have just wheeled it around on the 3. But hard to do it when it's that tire. It means so much.
Now, when Boydell had kind of got to you there, were you worried about defending, or were we kind of just hanging out, making sure we get this podium?
Well, I struggle getting down there low, so I couldn't really defend the low side. Just tried to get up there and run the laps quick as I could, and of course Greg Boydell's fast, and he'll get around you.
Yeah, man, dude, he's so fast. I mentioned so many times. He helped me so much, even in my 24-hour car. Greg Boydell's the man. He can drive anything, and he showed that tonight. But so did you, Joe. Hell of a job on the podium. Congrats on the P3. You got anybody you want to thank?
Yeah, start out thanking you. You're doing such a good job for us. We appreciate you, Shaggy. Just appreciate everything you do for us. Thank Keith and the guys for setting up this league and doing such a good job maintaining it. And just the drivers. We go out every week, and the guys give and take. It's a nice group of guys to race with. And lastly, MRL and Kyle and the guys for giving us such a great place to race.
Yeah, this was a great run. I mean, that long green flag run to start this thing out, you can't ask for much more than that. Great show, Joe. Can't wait to talk to you again, brother.
Absolutely. Just want to continue thoughts and prayers for Bill, and thanks for keeping him in the cast there, Shaggy.
Oh, always, man. Always. Every coast-to-coast race. I'll never not mention him. That's he's going to live with me forever. That guy's awesome. But congrats on the great run, Joe.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Hopefully talk to you next week.
Sounds good. We'll book it.
Sounds good.
Joe Canella's bringing home P3, and now I tried to. It was a slip saying he won because I knew this man was coming up. Scott, boy, oh boy, man. I was watching you early. We've talked about it so many times. I mean, it sounds cliche. It really does. It sounds dumb. But you can be the fastest car on the racetrack. That means nothing. And we saw that for a while. You were stuck behind Keith. But finally, I'll tell you, man, I don't know what it looked like in the race car, but you couldn't have got any closer to that inside wall through 1 and 2. You hit that about as well as I've ever seen anybody do it, man. And you made the move for the lead. Talk to us about it. That was big time. Oh, Scott, just a heads up. Yeah, you're muted. I noticed on Discord, so you got to click that.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. But all right, man. Okay, so talk to us about that move.
Well, first of all, I want to say, that's not the way that I wanted, to win the race. It's just one of them deals. I didn't. If you could go back and redo it, I'd redo it. But the car was really good on the bottom, and the closer you could get to that, if you could cut the grass, the car would go.
See, now I knew you would say that. I don't mean to cut you off here, but there's not many times I try to project my opinion. But do you really think that? Because, man, looking at it from the top and, like I say, how close you were, I mean, you know as well as I do, you're that man on the outside. You're kind of forced to make a business decision. I mean, you can't lay all that blame on yourself, do you?
Well, I mean, we were both quick. We had a good cushion, between, us and the third place car. I could have waited, maybe it would have went away. But, when you're in the car and that track is so big and so fast that once you pick your line and you make your decision, you're gone, But yeah, I hate that it happened. If I could go back and redo it, I wouldn't do it that way. But if I'd have known that was going to happen, I wouldn't have done it, period. But, Keith being Keith, we talked about it, and, he just said, shake it off. We'll race again Monday and we'll get back at them.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely, like I say, I don't want to, project it too hard, but, man, dude, that is as racing deal as it gets, as well as I do. Well, and me being a sprint car guy, I don't get to rely on the fenders, okay? So I know, if I see that guy on the inside, it's lift or, go out of the ballpark. So, I mean, it is a
Right.
different mentality, but at the end of the day, I mean, Scott, you hit the nail on the head. You never know when that bottom's going to go away, and I mean, if the door's open, even an inch, you got to stick that foot in, and man, that's exactly what you did. That was a hell of a move to win the race, as far as I'm concerned. Shake that thing off, brother. That was a fine job. Congratulations. You got anybody you want to thank?
Absolutely. Want to thank, MRL for giving us this platform to race on. I really enjoy racing with these guys. Look forward to it every Monday and Wednesday. Um, thanks to Keith and Joe and Rob for keeping it going and making it grow. And all these guys that we race with, man, it's just such a good group, to talk to and race with. And of course, got to thank Shaggy, for these broadcasts, man, because you make it more exciting than what it is.
Well, hey, I appreciate that, but I'll tell you what, man. Next time you see USA on the calendar, you better get pretty excited, brother. Hell of a job, swept the place, man. Can't do any better than that. I can't wait to talk to you again.
Thanks, Shaggy.
Scott Tice absolutely got the broom out here in Florida, and man, that says what kind of guy he is. I'm telling you, I mean that from the bottom of my heart, and I think deep down, maybe Keith would agree with me a little more, than I don't know, but you get put on that outside, you gotta make the business decision, and you almost get to the point where hey, I can go get him back in a couple laps, and I mean, he saw he was fast. If he doesn't clip that wall, I mean, he was kind of hanging with him after that restart, but just about finding stuff, and the guy out front isn't searching. And once again, to the point why I always say it's easier to be the car in second than it is to be that leader. Got nothing to lose. And Scott Tice showed that tonight. Big time move, and he picks up the win here at the USA International Speedway. With that, we wrap it up. I'm Zach Chapman with Shaggy TV saying so long, and I go practice for a couple hours at Daytona.